I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods with our regional headlines. Along the coast, we've got areas of fog that will continue to be a part of the forecast. For the valley, improving air quality after spending several days with hazy skies. Cooler nights for the foothills, and for the Sierra, a chance of midweek storms returns. Our smoke forecast getting into our Tuesday. Still have a couple of fires burning throughout the state, some pretty big ones actually. But with our flow starting to shift more from the Pacific, that's going to push most of that smoke off to the east here, as you can see with the forecast model, kind of allowing the valley to clear out around the perimeters of those fires, though it is still going to be quite unhealthy for air quality. Forecast highs for our Tuesday already starting to knock down from those widespread 100s and upper 90s that we've been seeing right through the weekend. Instead, we're looking at that onshore flow, keeping temperatures in the 60s for San Francisco, 80s and 90s throughout the valley, and close to 90 up top for the foothills, right about 85 for the Sierra. Sutter County, what a beautiful picture this is. And you can see all the agriculture here. Wanted to point this out because this is a big area where agriculture actually blooms this time of year. It is our driest time of the year, and it kind of seems counter to what we would normally think, needing water for agriculture. But water is at its highest demand. A very unique situation happens in California, pretty much in the Central Valley northward. At this point in the year, agriculture entities and farmers have a lot of flexibility and when they want to water their crops. So this is optimal time to really have control to not get so much in the way of mold and things like that. We have pretty much sunny skies day in and day out, and so they can control that water. How does this move then throughout the state? If we don't have any water that's coming from the sky, this is called our California water conveyance system. So we have our biggest reservoirs and biggest amounts of water in the northern part of the state. It's stored during the wet months, and then it's moved southward throughout the Central Valley through the California aqueducts and many tributaries here to allow a lot of that agriculture area to bloom again this time of year. That then goes all the way into Southern California as well to give the entire state water flexibility. Our major reservoir supply levels still at about 75 to 85% capacity right now. This is the time of year that we need most of the water. As far as our average, though, we're still sitting at about 100 to 120% of average. That is true as well as we move our way southward. Now, San Luis, that's that flexible one, off-stream pumped water, not necessarily driven by snowmelt. Instead, that allows water managers to have a lot of flexibility to feed the California aqueduct to send that water southward. Our Futurecast model indicating that onshore flow will continue deep into our Tuesday and Wednesday forecast. A little bit of clouds moving through the Delta area, but that's just a key indicator that we'll have that cooler air continuing to penetrate much of the valley and into the foothills. Highs for our Tuesday will be in the 90s, 80s up top for the Sierra, moving our way southward through the central Sierra. Still dry, 80s for Yosemite, 90s down the hill. We're still seeing a few of those 100s pop up in places like Fresno and Madera. Along the central coast, we've got that morning fog, partial afternoon clearing, inland areas warming into the 80s and 90s, and I got a couple of 100s in there, but they're not widespread. Tuesday along the coast for the Bay Area, highs in the 60s, inland areas 70s and 80s, and we'll see that pretty much represented northward as well. Inland areas still near 100, but coastal communities feeling the cool breeze, highs in the 50s and 60s. Central Valley forecast, we're in the 80s and 90s. Not bad considering normally this time of year we're in the low 90s, and we're only going to see a couple of those on the east side of the valley. Anywhere that is delta influenced by that breeze will be much cooler than average. Slight chance of thunderstorms for the mountains on Thursday. Otherwise, we are dry and staying on the mild side of things for this time of year. Average highs 93. Not seeing too much of that until we get into the weekend forecast. And then as we head into the end of the weekend and early next week, a little warmer, but more 80s ahead by next week.